Investing world. Thanks for joining us. Lifestyle investing, where we invest face off our lifestyle too. Yeah.
Stack it up.
Stack it up, baby. Stack it up, baby. Stack it up. A little Jenga.
Yeah.
Jenga in the building. Mike, myself, Stephen Farnsworth. We're talking budget, guys.
Talking budget.
Yeah, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on budget. Huge fan.
So
Huge fan.
I always talk about
Very supportive.
yeah, budget. Yes.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Let's talk it.
Because I know I talk about it in my home buyer classes, and I feel the tension in the room because people are like, "Don't judge me in my Starbucks," or "Don't judge me in my lifestyle," And so I say about the why. You got to have the why. And I tell the story about when I started losing weight and really dropping, that I needed that pain. Pain for me is such a good teacher. I'll tell the story briefly just so you can kind of get caught up. As I was about almost 100 pounds bigger than I am right now.
Wow.
And I was at the amusement park with my daughter, couldn't ride the ride. I'm a single dad, so looking at her face and saying, "You can't ride it because daddy's too big," broke my heart. I changed.
Yeah.
All the information was already there. I knew what to do. I just didn't have the pain enough to break it. The camel's back was broken. So made a change, dropped like 90 pounds, went to Disneyland, rode all the rides, like boom, like victory. Yeah. So I tell that story in my class too, to say, if you want to change your budget, the way you've been spending money your whole life, you have to have something that's going to make you cry. You have to have something, the why that makes you cry. Really, like you have to have an emotional situation where you're like, oh God, I cannot live like this anymore.
And they're coming to your class to learn about buying a house.
Yes.
So they're going to cry now because they know how to
Yes.
That makes sense. It's in context, that makes a lot of
It
sense.
kind of does, because it's like, what is your real goal? Do you want to have 6 months of expenses saved, and what would that do to your lifestyle? Knowing that you don't have to have this job if a better one came along, where you needed to take a little time with no money, or is it so you can send your kid to college, or is it so you can have an extra bedroom so your child can have their own room? Like, that's really getting into the actual emotions of the process. Because if you're going to change something, that is that much ingrained in your daily habit, it has to be a big why. I mean, you have to. And so what I'll also talk about, the part about getting started small when you're young, is if you don't save something, you are working for everybody else. Yeah. You're waking up early, making coffee 40 hours a week or more, so you can pay Comcast, so you can pay your car, so you can pay the landlord. Everybody else is making money. It's like the Matrix. Like, you're just a battery. And so I say that when I'm teaching the classes too, and I really believe that, because what are we doing? Why are we spending 40 years so that everybody else can get wealthy? So I talk about that, and that's to encourage you, not to shame you, but to say, just even if you have to start at 1%. I'm really grateful that I get to take a chunk out before I even see it. It goes in my 401k, and I have another thing that goes into an online bank account, so I'm just like, boom. Because I don't know if you're like me, but what's in my checking account usually like kind of goes away, so I put it somewhere else. So I just want you to pay yourself. I want you to know that you're worthy of, like, all the work you do, you're worthy of getting to enjoy something from it. So that's my thought about that. Yeah.
He's deep. Yeah. Well, I honestly, I like your thought about saying, hey, people, don't talk to me about my Starbucks money. It's like, if that's what makes you happy, then go spend the money on Starbucks every time. But don't come and tell me you have no money.
Right. Yeah. Right.
That's the only thing. That's my only feeling on that. Is like, hey, if you don't feel like you can buy a house, stopping getting one coffee a day, are you going to be able to buy a house on that? No. But over time, habits like that build up, and that's a lot. That can be a lot of money. And I don't mean like coffee like because it's addictive or anything. I mean like habits like, oh, I'm paying for cable, and I have to have cable, or I need really good internet, or I need I want to have a nicer car, so I'm going to lease this nice car. Like there are always things you can cut out to create more more income for you, and so there's. At the end of the day, like there are usually ways where you can find money in your budget. Yeah,
and I think we get so ingrained in just the daily activity of this is what I do that we don't even stop to think about it. There's a slide that I talk about is basically track your budget for 30 days, which I don't think anybody's ever done. But even if you track it for a week, you will find habits. Like if you write down everything you spend for a whole week, you'll find something, and it could be every day at 3:15. I get out of my desk, I walk down the street, and I spend $10 at 7-Eleven every day. Like that could be a thing, and you don't even realize you're doing it. And I read this book called The Power of Habit, really cool, and it basically the whole book said a habit, you can't get rid of the trigger or the reward. The way our brain works is once the craving's there, we have to have the goal. It has to happen. But you can change the middle. So in other words, if every day you get triggered at 3:15 to get out of your desk and go to the convenience store, find something else that's going to give you that same reward, whether it's going and talking to a coworker, doing something else, taking a walk around the block, drinking 3 glasses of water, something that's going to make your brain hit that, yes, I got it. Because you can't, or the way our brains are wired, you just can't change the trigger. Once the trigger's off, the routine has to be met. So it's about doing something different in that routine. And I think that's what tracking would do. It would show you maybe, like, because I know, you get in your car, you drive home, you don't even know how you got there. Our brain is really cool like that, but it also can mess with you. It messes with you. So it's encouraging to me to even say that, because I'm like, I probably could do that. That would help me figure out some ways. So yeah.
Dude, that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Cool, guys. Hey, we're going to wrap up. That's budget. These two guys
That's right.
know all about it. So go back, watch it again.
Watch it again. Yeah.
Budget your own money. Lifestyle investing,
And
Mike
write
Westhouse,
down
Stephen
everything you
Farnsworth.
spent
Yeah, that too.
yeah.